how should we advise a church to invest in low-risk options? I'm asking because, you're a pastor. How should we advise a church to invest in low-risk options instead of keeping money in a bank account? Is this approach biblical? Bank accounts seem, a waste.
Do you work in church?
Any personal.
That's not like personal. Do you work in church? So like you work in church. So, no, like, how do I put it? So I don't know which church you work in, because that's not what we do. So I wouldn't say something that we don't do. That's not what we do. Two things I'm going to say concerning that. Recently we had a situation with Pastor Carla, and she's wise. She's 77. She knows a lot. I sit down and listen to her. She said, we're investing for the future of the ministry. That's what she did, investing. That's the first thing you think about, investing. So ours doesn't just stay in the bank accounts. And if you ever come to our bank accounts, ours are, there are always demands. Let me give you an example. Like we have our children's home, like in your house, always there's a demand in children's home because we are reaching out more. And many times you've heard us talk about this, like we are believing God to be able to build. Let me give you an example. We are building that building I told you earlier on. That is how much? It's about, by the time we are done with the furnishing and all, that's about 12 million shillings. That means will be spent this month. And by this time the schools open, we are ready, we've spent that, okay? So it doesn't stay in the account. An example over there, I've told you are building a kitchen and a dining area. That's about 25 million shillings. Yes. So you give us 25 million shillings. It's not going to stay in the accounts, it goes there. All right, we have a Marsabit project, an example, that project we did, was it last year, we finished last year. That was about $130,000. So it didn't stay in the bank. It's ready going out, reaching out to that project, the drilling of the borehole and piping to the village. So ours, maybe that's where you work, but ours, it doesn't stay in our bank account. Ours is always going out. It comes going out and doing something to add value to people's lives, into people's lives. Want to say something about that?
Yes. Maybe as a follow-up to that question, that person who has asked, is asking whether it's biblical. Is it okay then for the church to invest such funds? Probably.
Yeah. So what funds would that be? Is it like, let me give you an example. Would you be like someone has given for a certain project, then you invest it?
No, that's designated. I don't think.
That's designated.
Yes.
We call it designated funds. An example. Let me give you an example. We have a project, an example is 14 or 15,000 I'm giving, or 20 million shillings. When it comes, you don't touch it to go to any other place except for those designated area. We call them designated funds. They don't go to any other place except what the project is supposed to do. And many times in our nation, that's the problem we have. Money comes, it's meant to do something, ends up in some people's pockets and start doing something else, which will never finish what it was intended to do. So, but if we have any money in our accounts that we are not going to spend for some time, the prudent thing is to invest it, definitely.
You know, one of the things I like saying is you can never call yourself an expert because you're always learning.
Yeah.
There's always new truth coming.
Sure.
And one connection that I made just out of pure revelation was, what is the connection between what we invest and what we do. Let me speak, for example, just any company, forget a church. You run a business, a real estate company, okay? All you know is real estate. You receive, you build apartments, and those apartments are sold to customers. So those apartments may cost maybe 100 million to build, and then you sell them for 200 million. The way I have seen the mindset that we've been having is we get the funds, we invest, we build, and then we sell. And we receive the 200 million, we start another project, we do the same thing. But then, if that project costs 100 million shillings, that 100 million shillings is never spent in one day. It's spent in doses. You get it? As you get certificates, you pay.
Yeah.
So that 100 million shillings, maybe you may disburse it over a year. Now, what I've seen the next level is you open an investment account specifically for that project.
Yeah. See that?
The 100 million comes there. As you're paying your contractors, you're withdrawing how much needs to pay the contractors. By the end of that 1 year, what was 100 million will have been 110 million. Now you have an extra
10 million.
10 million. This 10 million can become the source of your funds to do a project beyond what you are actually doing. And that's why this thing, the secret of multiplication is something that will continue challenging you. And God has to you have to go back to God and ask God, give me insight. Give me insight. What do I need to do? We can't, it is God who teaches how to create wealth. And sometimes our mind is so rigid, we just think one way. You get it? You all eat peanut butter? You guys have eaten peanut butter? Yes. Do you know where it came from?
Yeah.
That just an African scientist asked God, what do I tell people to do with excess peanut production? And God told him, go to your lab, I'll show you. God showed him 300 uses of peanut. And one of them is peanut butter. If that guy, a scientist, had said, I am a scientist, and he didn't tap into the divine knowledge of God, there would be no peanut butter today. Sure. So for me, we are constantly learning. So is a church investing biblical? Absolutely, it's biblical. It's not a question of biblical or not biblical. It's about stewardship. Because what can church do with an extra 10 million shillings?
A lot.
I always say, if a member of a church sleeps hungry, something is broken somewhere. That is the 10 million that was made by a bank on your money when your money was relaxing. That money can actually be something that can really change lives. So this is something that actually we are working quite a bit with a number of churches, just to show them how to even how we can support them in better stewardship of the resources that God has given you. I think there's a church that was saying they had what in a year 8 billion shillings.
They had.
Wow. Isn't it?
They had.
Yes. Yeah, there was a publication. A church in Kenya.
I think
in 1 year. 8 billion.
Yeah.
Do you know what 8 billion does?
I saw that.
So it's not to say that they are misusing the resources, but what are the channels of that 8 billion? who is it benefiting? You get, eh? If you look at that carefully and you bring this stewardship and abundance mentality, oh man, you will change lives.